Let's move on to another under I was expecting to bet as well. These were the two unders that I was expecting to bet. And part of the reason why I didn't do it was because obviously I just had I had the Browns and Titans, and I was so confident in that under. And now these two teams are playing yet again against teams that aren't offensive juggernauts. And I just want to go right back to the well. I want to go right back to the well here in Bengals Titans. Let's take a look at this line history here for this one. We have the Titans at +2.5. It hasn't moved. +2.5 -106. Now, of course, this came out this morning at Pinnacle. They're very cautious, and that's where it is. +2.5 -106 with no movement. Let's get over to the total in this one, and that's what I want to be attacking. Now, of course, it's being bet towards the under, so I am a little late to the party. But Pinnacle still hanging the 42. It's only moved 10 cents. It isn't a real 42. It's -119 to the under. That's just what's up on my, my whatever the sorry, it's too much information. We're going way too much information. You forget words. Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, here for Bengals Titans. Titans 1-0 at home. Bengals 0-1 on the road. We just watched them last night. Bengals on a short week. Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. 81 Fahrenheit, 75 miles per hour. Let's get into the cash flow for this one. 78% of the tickets and 95% of the cash on the under. I mean, is it too blatant? Is it too blatant? The thing is that these low totals that are blatant have been going under. Ask the 25 points that the Patriots and Jets put up. The 74% of the tickets are on the Bengals and 54% of the cash. So bigger bets coming in on the Titans. Spenny Penny Bomb says Tannehill isn't the guy he never was. Says why they still let this loser play is baffling. If you're going to lose anyway, why not let your guys you drafted play? Skydragon says bet Cincinnati -110 yesterday, figuring even if Burrow missed the game, he'd be available this Sunday. That was very smart. The Bengals come in off their first win of the season, a very underwhelming 19-16 victory at home over the Rams. They now head to Tennessee to face a very angry Titans group on a short week. Burrow was 26 of 49 for 259 yards and an interception. He looked much better. I mean, it's pretty easy to say. He did look limping at times, but he looked much better. Jamar Chase had his first breakout game of the year after two subpar efforts, caught 12 passes for 141 yards. We knew it was coming. I mean, A.J. Brown had the same thing. You knew it was coming. Mixon ran 19 times for 65 yards. This offense is still not running on all cylinders. I mean, we watched it closely last night. Burrow, isn't getting enough protection. They were just 5 of 17 on third down, and they only made one foray into the red zone. But they did hold on to the football for 36 minutes. The defense looked very strong. They held the Rams to just 1 of 11 on third down, 1 of 4 in the red zone. As a team, 6 sacks, and 10 quarterback hits. And Logan Wilson, whom I love, had 2 picks. Other than Burrow, this is a healthy group, as healthy as I remember them. The Titans coming off that embarrassing 27-3 loss at Cleveland. That's when I want a team. That's the problem. This is exactly when I want to back a team. Coming back home after being embarrassed, getting slapped in the face. Their offense was abysmal. We just talked about it. 6 first downs, 94 total yards. Fewest yards for the Titans since they relocated from Houston in 1997. Good God. Tannehill, 13 and 25 for 104 yards. Hopkins led receivers with 3 catches for 48 yards. He extended his streak of catching at least 1 pass to 148 games. Who cares? Chris Moore had 2 catches for 41 yards. The rest of the team had 8 catches for 15 yards. Derrick Henry completely shut down, 11 carries for 20 yards. Titans defense tried to keep the squad in it, but they were just on the field too much. I mean, they finished with 3 sacks, 5 quarterback hits. Secondary allowed Watson to go 27 of 33. And here it is. Here is the second team this past week that had 0 passes defended. 0. Browns went 6 of 13 on third down. Sean Murphy bunting song in concussion protocol. I mean, last thing I would want to do is have an under and not have him out on the field. Take it away for us here, Troy. Bengals Titans, Nissan Stadium.
Yeah, so I had a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, Joe Yuko. He's probably out there in the chat somewhere. He sent me a stat on Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's 1-7 in his career in weeks 1 and 2, and he's 24-12 in all the weeks following that. I mean, that this number has kind of been sticking in my head. He sent it earlier. I know he likes the Bengals when originally I started looking towards the Titans. But I think the Titans, I mean, this is going to be a reoccurring theme with the Titans. They're going to struggle versus good defenses in the NFL. And the Bengals defense bounced back. I mean, they were terrible up until this point, but they did play with a lot of intensity, and it was definitely a different feel towards the end of that game, especially for that defense. But you really can't say the same thing for the offense because they haven't looked right. Their pass blocking, PFF got them at 26th. Run blocking, PFF got them at 31st. They continue to struggle. Burrow, 0 touchdowns, 1 pick, only 2.9 yards per rush. And a wide receiver group that PFF has is 32nd in the NFL. That's goddamn last place. Here's a problem that I have with the Bengals. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't think it's that hard to look at your numbers and see this as an offensive coordinator. But the Bengals have only run 5 play action passes this season. Last year, they were definitely lower as a percentage of their total attempts, but they only ran 5 this year. That's the lowest in the NFL, and it's not even damn close. I just think that there might be bigger problems than I think with this Bengals team. And on the Titans side, I mean, there's not much to like about what we've been seeing with the Titans outside of their run defense. Their run defense has been elite. It has been for years. I mean, that's not a surprise. But yeah, this is definitely a spot where I don't think the Bengals looked very good in winning and they didn't cover. They pushed on the spread, but they didn't win. Or they won the game yesterday. I don't think they looked really good in doing so. And this is where you want to buy the Titans at home, divisional dog, off a loss. It just seems to be like a beautiful spot for the Titans. I was thinking about teasers, Jimmy. I know you don't like teasers, but I think that this might be a good spot to grab a teaser. I don't know if we could. What is it? Do we think this line's going to hit 3? Does anyone in the chat? Is this line going Titans +3, or is this going to stick at 2.5?
I don't see how it could get to 3, man.
I know. And if it did get to 3, it'd be like you don't really want it anymore.
I don't see how it could get to 3 after what we've seen from the Bengals. I really don't. But I know that Rainbow the God looking at the over, leaning to the over, but I still think that in that victory that the Bengals had, the reason why I knew I wanted to get in live, on the Bengals, was because of possession. I mean, that means so much to me. And you see it. If you have a team that's controlling time of possession, they're going to wear down the opposition. And 36 minutes, they held on to the ball here. I think this will be another spot that even, if the Bengals are rolling offensively, they're not going to be pushing it. They're going to just want to hold on to the ball for 35 plus minutes of this football game.
And they did. Yesterday, I was pissed off watching them milk the play clock down to 5 or less seconds every fucking play. I had Stafford's over. I was like, am I going to get there or what? Like I was getting frustrated because every play, and it started early too. This is a good point. And this also speaks to what Ragu's saying in the chat about the under. I mean, is it another one that's just too obvious? It can't possibly hit. It's
the obvious low totals are all they're cashing. They're cashing. I'm not going to be too nervous about it here.
You got 2 teams that can't score in the red zone. 2 teams that are decent on third down, on defensively good on third down, bad on offense. Oh man, it just seems so too obvious. I mean,
I'm going to move on it.
Let's go.
I'm going to move on the under 41. Is there anything that you think you're going to be making official in the next 24 hours on this one?
I'm going to move on the under because that was the original. So I scrolled down my sheet here, and the first pick I have is under 41 ? So yeah, I think I have enough here. Let's go.
I have under 41. In the totals that we've gone, I'd like to go back to them, but I believe that we're perfect on the totals that we both bet together.
Yeah,
and they've only been unders. So I'm going to move on that under as well. I'm going to move on that tonight. Enough for me.